And you are welcome. It's a Tuesday edition, that day when everything gets done, because yesterday you were too lazy to do it.
What is your own with Tuesday being the day everything gets done? For me, Monday is when everything gets done. In fact, that's the day I have meetings, I have so many things to catch up on. So Tuesday for me is like easing myself into the weekend.
Now, I'm a very productive person, so on Tuesdays I look forward to it, because I do admit that yes, I push everything into Tuesday, but it's all good. Welcome to a very, very fantastic Tuesday edition here for Wake Up Nigeria. How was your Monday? By the way,
Doctor, yeah, pushing things forward, procrastinating.
don't worry, it's a system. It's my strategy.
Right.
Welcome to the new month of August,
Yes,
by the way.
Indeed. It's going to be a fantastic month. We're feeling really positive about this. And we're so happy to have you watching us right here, watching Wake Up Nigeria. Welcome to the show.
Yes.
And talking about welcoming you to the show, we're not going to be welcoming you alone. We've got someone else right here in the studio with us.
Mr. Kango Mike Mesikeno is in the studio once again.
They are trying to position me, so I'll say good morning. It's a wonderful Tuesday morning. The most productive day of the week. Mazino might not agree with
Yes,
that.
indeed.
But okay, well, he says on Monday you were too lazy to do stuff, so you get to do it on Tuesday. So Tuesday is actually quite productive.
Exactly. Thank you. Thank you.
It's August. How many months at the end of the year now?
We've got, what, 5 more after this one?
Boy,
Oh, 5 more?
that we just said Happy New Year when?
I'm telling you, man. But are you looking forward to a change in weather for August?
Oh, okay, the August break. I'm a plevophile. I love the rain. So, you know that August break has not been...
Yeah,
it's not been
they've
as
postponing it.
breaky as it used to be. Climate change and all of that. The weather has not been as consistent. It's hard to predict, as it were. But, you know, at least we have it quite good here. Unlike some other places that might not be as fortunate as us with natural storms and all of that.
Yeah. Well,
Okay, so while you guys go on with your Tuesday productivity, while I ease myself to the weekend on a Tuesday, let's tell you what we have in store for you. But before then, my name is Mary Bashua Alimi.
and my name is Mazino Appeal. Please remember, you can follow us on social media at TVC Connect. And of course, if you are watching us from outside the country, perhaps maybe you're doing that on our app. If you don't have it, make sure that you download it already. You can find it on iOS and on Google Play Store.
Absolutely. And of course, you should follow us across all social media platforms at TVC Connect. Use the hashtag WakeUpNigeria on TVC.
All right.
Now to what we have in store for you today. Joining us, for a summer of STEM series is Jadesola Adedeji, the co-founder of STEM Mets. Now, STEM Mets is a social enterprise focused on bridging the 21st century skills gap within the Nigerian educational system. Today, the focus will be on homemade lava lamp. If you're wondering what that is, you want to stick around.
That's nice. I can see it already. Musical performance. We have Chidi Collins, a gospel music minister whose journey began with a profound love for music since childhood. Now he'll be performing his latest single, Ancient of Days, when he hits our loft.
Now, for a guest discussion, we have Elime Osezua, a Nollywood producer who has made blockbuster movies like Unforgivable, Dami, just to mention a few. We can't wait to have that conversation with him.
And today our last guest will be Kazim Faiza, popularly known as Tutap. Born and raised in the UK, he is an accomplished and respected artist, known for his exceptional creativity and unique artistic style. Through his career, Tutap has created numerous worthy pieces like Section 46 and Back in Blood. Well, we can't wait to have him over with us. Good to be back on a Tuesday, guys.
Yes.
Yeah.
Social
First
media
of
has been
August.
agog with the president's speech.
Yes. So, when it was told earlier in the day yesterday about the president wanting to speak to us Nigerians, first of all, that was a very personal thing, I thought. I only had one thing in mind. I thought it had to be about the present state of the economy, and I wasn't disappointed when that was what came about. I thought that it was necessary for the people to understand what's going on. I think that there's much work still to be done. Plenty of awareness that has to go out there. Maybe digest material, especially since social media is a big tool these days for the youth, for all classes of people, just so we understand and don't get ourselves up in a knot when we are facing these economic hardships that we are definitely, every single person is going through. That was my contribution.
People have been making calls that the president ought to address the nation. But I believe before now it was probably a case of, let's first get things into place first before we address the nation. So I believe as at yesterday, if you go, okay, we are more or less ready to address the nation. But whatever the case may be, though, are Nigerians placated? I'm not sure. People are going through a lot right now. There's on the one hand, we have the minimum wage, which people are still talking about.
Yeah.
The minimum wage is the one we know, but other levels as well wish their salaries could go up to match up with the exigencies now.
Wow.
You're earning, say, for example, 50,000 naira a month, and expenses have tripled, even quadrupled in some cases. 200,000 naira probably can't even cover your expenses in a month. And so people are asking, what next? What do we do? How will the government first effect this? Because sometimes the private sector will not make certain changes until it's been done in the public sector. So people are keenly waiting, as he
For that
mentioned,
move by the
fact
public.
that
Yeah, he
there'll
did
be
state that there
increments.
will be that.
Yes, so people are keenly watching to see what exactly
What
will
happened?
be done.
I personally think that I would, going forward, I would want the president to address the nation even more.
Communicate
because I feel
more
like
often, yes.
it shouldn't be an address. We shouldn't have to like. It's almost like from the way he spoke, he said that it's a country he loves. He used some words that I don't see presidents use.
Yes,
recently.
very personal
Very
as a
personal.
matter of
Yeah,
I feel
like I
when
said, it
it's
was personal.
Yeah, you don't have to say I want to.
yes.
You just do. Yeah. So we expect regular interaction.
As regular as Trump, huh?
Yeah,
Trump
Trump.
rallies.
Maybe
That was the
not
one
that
thing.
kind.
That was the one thing
about
Trump
him.
actually.
Yeah, that's one
Trump
thing about him.
really knew
I
how
agree,
to
yeah.
motivate the people.
So
The people
he
who were
didn't have
his.
to, exactly. So he was always on hand. He
Yeah,
was the one
exactly, on
controlling
hand.
his phone Twitter. You know that. Look, I am
Exactly.
the one tweeting. So I am
Exactly.
talking. So direct issues. An issue could come up, and Trump would have something to say about maybe.
And he'd get
a
right on
particular
Twitter.
Case. Maybe a case was in court, and then and he said, "Okay, I expect the justice to do this. I'm on
So
this side."
in
of
that
this side."
case, you felt like as if you knew the person who was
Yeah,
talking to you. You
yeah.
knew the person because it was like a personal type of
Yeah,
thing. It was
yeah.
like, I know this guy.
You know
I know how
somebody
he'd
that
react to
they
this
are-
situation.
they're in jam.
This is actually a very valid point. So perhaps it's something that the media team might want to look into, ensuring that Nigerians feel comfortable communicating
Yeah.
with the presidency.
And if
As
you're
a
looking
whole.
for somebody to take on that job,
Oh, yes. It's me.
Good morning. Welcome to the news on Wake Up Nigeria. My name is Mike Messikeno. Now, just yesterday, Monday, the 31st of July, 2023, the President approved the provision of buses to students of tertiary institutions across the country to ease the burden of the fuel subsidy removal. In a statement or in a statewide broadcast by the President, he says that the buses will be given to student bodies of all universities, polytechnics, and colleges of education in the country. TVC News State House correspondent Femi Akonde reports.
It is important that you understand the reasons.
The nationwide broadcast by President Tinubu is appealing to the hearts and conscience of Nigerians as the federal government continues with the implementation of tough decisions that will turn around the economy of the country in the long run. The President painstakingly explained the removal of fuel subsidy and why Nigerians should trust the process that has so far saved more than 1 trillion naira for the country within 2 months.
In a little over 2 months, we have saved over 1 trillion naira that would have been squandered on the unproductive fuel subsidy, which only benefited smugglers and fraudsters. That money will now be used more directly and more beneficially for you and your families.
The removal of fuel subsidy has caused significant disruptions in different aspects of national life, but President Tinubu has now announced the introduction of deliberate measures that will have far-reaching impact in the short term. Most important is the injection of funds into the economy to help small and medium-scale enterprises, and his administration also intends to stimulate the growth in the manufacturing sector.
Our administration recognizes the importance of micro, small, and medium-sized enterprises and the informal sector as the drivers of growth. We are going to energize this important sector with 125 billion. Out of the sum, we will spend 50 billion conditional grant to 1 million nano businesses between now and March 24.
There is, however, cheering news for public servants, as the President promised that an upward review of the national minimum wage is imminent.
We are also working in a collaboration with the labor unions to introduce a new national minimum minimum wage for workers. I want to tell you, our workers, that this, your salary review is coming.
As the days begin to count, Nigerians also hope that the implementation of these programs of government begin to have real impacts on their lives and livelihood. Femi Akonde, TVC News, Abuja.
Around to foreign stories, at least 6 people, including a 10-year-old girl and her mother, have been killed by a Russian missile strike on the Ukrainian city of Kyiv. Officials said 75 others, including 25 children, were injured when missiles slammed into a residential high-rise building early on Monday. Regional Governor Serhiy Lyask declared a day of mourning for those lost. The home city of President Volodymyr Zelensky has been a consistent target for Russian strikes. In June, 11 people died and 28 others were injured in the city after Russia launched a massive missile attack on civilian buildings. The latest attack saw dozens of people hospitalized, including children aged 4 to 17 years old. We'll take a time out now. Stay with us. We'll be back with the show.
Our very own Winfrey, giving back to the community. Free entry, 12th of August.
Seriously.
I mean, it's not
But
too
you have
late
to
for you.
register first, though. To
Yeah.
do what?
Be a pageant, you know. Everything. You have it.
Yeah,
now.
maybe they'll just specify one for moms. I think there's something there.
Oh, true.
Yeah,
See?
everybody does. I like it that in different ways people celebrate different people
Exactly.
in different categories. You
Yeah.
understand?
There's plus
If
size
you-
pageantry.
Exactly, there's
There's-
plus size
there's,
pageantry.
you know.
And then if you want to be,
There's non-bearded man.
yeah, if you want to be transgender, because I don't.
Are you guys trying to pass messages across me?
Netherlands.
Plus size pageantry.
Miss Netherlands, who's passing idea?
Oh, Allah. Don't worry, I'll take
Mike,
it.
they stumbled you there. Okay.
No, but what's passing idea? You cannot do the normal pageant. So it's I mean, is it time?
You're a beautiful plus size woman.
I'm plus sized.
Aren't
Martino.
you? No, wait, sorry. When does it cross into
Yeah,
being?
maybe let us know.
When does it cross
when does
into
it- when is
being
it plus?
not
When is it plus?
a fair thing to say? When you say, "Oh, you're a beautiful plus size lady."
I am plus sized.
Lady, you're tall.
I'm taking it personal.
Mary is 5'4". You're 6', aren't you? You're already.
But anyway, we'll get something to talk.
See,
Don't mind Mary.
damned if we do, damned if we don't.
Yeah, but then that's we should talk about it tomorrow more.
All right, guys. So we have a very interesting conversation here today based on the current prevailing economic situations that everybody's going through, the hardships. Even the president himself came out yesterday to tell about how we have to bear with what's going on, and it's going to be all for the better at the end. This story hit Instagram yesterday, and we wanted to, use this as a, leeway into this conversation. I'm going to read it real quick. I hope I can do it. It's about a gentleman who says he usually gives rides to his neighbors from Moe to Beggar every morning. He works in Anthony, and for the past 8 months he's been doing so. So his car broke down. He finally eventually fixed it, and while it was broken down, his neighbors found their way to work. Eventually, when he fixed it, now they came back and then they accompanied him to work for free all the while. Eventually, fuel subsidy was removed, and he says, I gave them a free ride for 2 weeks because I still had fuel that I bought from before when it was still cheap. The day I filled up my tank, I cried out because it drained me, he says. I had to tell them that going forward, they'd have to pay for every ride. He said they should pay about 500 naira. Two of the ladies said that, lie, we can't because we're your neighbor now. Why would we be paying for a ride? I mean, come on. The guy said they will pay 500 naira daily. I told them, no problem. The following day, he left early, didn't take anybody. However, he picked 6 passengers on the road going to Berger for 500 naira. They were all excited because they were paying very little. When they discovered he was going all the way to Anthony, they added 200 naira. That's 700 naira eventually. Then, yesterday, he goes on and he says the next day, his neighbors gathered at his house and tried to perhaps maybe get him to, okay, let's reach an agreement. And he told them, no, sorry, and I'll carry other people. Now, this is the kicker here. He says on each person, I make 1,400 naira. That's equal 8,400 naira on every trip. This has covered my fuel to work daily plus small money for breakfast. So he's turned a disadvantage into an advantage. Now he doesn't even have to pay for fuel at all and even has breakfast money. Now I remember being in the bank and carrying a set. I've already said it. For 2 years straight, to and from work, first active VI, not one day paying me did this lady say, Mazino, let me buy 1 full tank. Never. And I felt so bad. I never asked her to stop, but I was in my mind, I'm like, can't you just at least shake body small and say, Mazino, take? It's the it's the thought that counts, and it never happened. And
So,
Yeah.
okay. I know we're spoken about this, but you guys were not there, so it's good to hear what you guys think. But for me, in that scenario, I'll tell her straight up.
the auntie, come
Straight
down
up.
and pay for tank.
Straight up. Today, I'll tell her straight up. In fact, I'm even talking now. I'm already started calculating.
How many people you carry from home to work?
1,000.
Money is involved.
They make it like
money,
6K.
money is involved
Every
every
day.
single day.
So,
But
Are they reasonable now?
For me, yeah.
Check, go, wait, I can't. Go me. Checks for here. I be like, say, when you are waiting your car, I don't know.
I feel they carry you.
There plenty. Alima.
you have you have space in your boot. Actually.
Francis. So we go down there. I'm going to tell
At least
you.
500 naira per. That's
Yeah,
like
just
55.
come, but any day they want to enter, I'll give them OP account. Account where you go just easily put something.
Invoice.
No. Just small accounts. So you say, or you go be charge card or something. Very easy. You check 500 naira
True.
charge card.
Making the best of
So
whatever
the thing
situation you
is-
find yourself.
The thing is this, so I've always felt uncomfortable asking for favors. And I always feel like, especially when it comes to rides, like I owe the person. So most times, I would rather get on the road myself. Now, the one person that I sometimes take rides with, I have offered him a few times,
That's Olamide now.
and he would say,
Say the
Have you bought fuel for Olamide?
he would say,
You've
"Don't
not.
worry."
It's a lie.
The only
They
time-
won't say, yeah, you don't
No, see,
offer.
You don't offer. No, don't offer.
Let me tell you what
Thank
to
you.
do.
Thank you.
Let me tell you what to do. Make
what should I do?
Don't offer.
Don't offer. As you buy the fuel, you now
Call
rush
the
and don't
attendant.
hold
You
it.
did not hear what I said.
Wait,
We've never gone to buy food together.
Ogbeni, wait. Have you paid for his fuel before? If his answer is no, I'm telling you what to do next time. You seize his card, you hide it, and
Exactly.
use your card. I say,
Thank you.
Are
You
you,
want his hand?
you don't understand English. I said we've never had to go buy food before.
You will make him go and buy.
Leave him an envelope
That's what
on
I'm
his
saying.
I
desk.
said this is a conversation we've had more than
Madam,
once.
You are conversing. Don't converse.
Don't converse. I'm telling you, you don't converse.
Anyway, what I just want to say.
I mean, there's fiscal
what
cash.
I just want to
Just
say.
drop it and go out and say,
Not everybody likes to carry passengers in their vehicles. That's the truth. Not many people like the idea of carrying strange people in their vehicles. However,
These were
if it
neighbors.
comes to, no, neighbors. I'm talking about the fact that they started having to
Yeah,
take
okay, yes, true.
passengers on the road.
True.
However, when it comes to things like this, I believe it's best to have a conversation. For me, it's never been a case of to and fro. It's probably like once a week or twice a month or something, just once in a while. But even at that, I felt obliged, like I need to at least just even
Show appreciation.
show appreciation because you're saving me the stress and everything. Now, as at that time, even my fare home was like half of what I'm paying now, and it's half because I have a very strong Legacy Benz, so I add it to it. So we have a way around it.
It's
But
exercise.
It's exercise, exactly.
Yeah,
So
that's cool.
at the end of the day, when people do things like this for you, you don't have to be told before
Yeah.
you take certain steps. It's a different thing if the person says, don't worry. But I just feel it is
Even
right.
if the person says, don't
to
worry,
say-
I cannot.
Personally, I feel it is just right for you to at least. Sometimes you might not even have enough
Yeah, I
to
want to
support,
I want to mention.
but at least.
I want to go. So some people they do it as if it's their right. In fact, if you don't know, they will chase you from your own car.
I think you have somebody in mind. I knew it.
They can tell you that you don't go, they will drop you and you can't even go. So you see when you went enter, you see when you that will give them to say, "Ah, thank you."
So-
Thank you for anyway.
I love my space, and it was very difficult for me to accommodate a person for almost 2 years, and for me it wasn't that.
Was it to and fro?
It was
That's
yeah,
the thing,
it was
you
to
said
and fro.
Assuming it was one of
And I
them.
love-
Even the people you mentioned, it's once in a while.
Yeah.
No. That I'm just
All of
kidding with
them.
that
So
one.
that's different. But in a
I
situation
love,
where
yeah.
to and fro
I
every
love my
day,
space. Yes, I love
that's
that
a lot.
ambience in the car, silence, just the radio and everything. I don't want conversation, actually. I don't like it.
yeah.
I just want to be.
No.
That's time for me to actually think up, strategies and everything. So for me to accommodate you for 2 years, even if it wasn't that you wanted to give me, at least, honestly, I'm gonna say it now. If she had said one day, Amos, every day for over a year, thank you very much. I really appreciate it. But not once did that come up. And
Oh, she never even said thank you.
we did like, thank you. We're here. Okay, thank you. That one is just so
nothing
perfunctory.
heartfelt.
Nothing
I think
heartfelt.
for everyone out there, this one is not. You don't have an option. It's not contribute to this one. I'll say what.
Presently.
If you do, if somebody does help you in that kind of regard, find a way to show appreciation. It might go a
Yeah.
very long way. I mean, Mazino
Even
might
if
have
it's
bought
the
a car for that
person's
lady.
birthday.
She has said thank you.
The person carry,
He has bought a car for
the
someone.
person carry my money on my car.
Hi, babe, please can I know you better? Thank you for that car you bought for me. Thank you for paying for my flight ticket.
Stop it. Shh. That's not
You bought
true.
her for
No,
woman.
it wasn't so.
Ah, my God, this Mazino is a finished man.
Can we go on a break now?
Let us take
Can we go on a break now? Please, cut. And you're welcome. It's time for us to tell you what you'd find on the front pages of the dailies. With me, I have a very special guest with us. Welcome, Mr. Mike Mesikeno.
I need to pay. After this time, man. That you just complain now, say 2 years, best in just do me. I don't dare here like 20.
Mike.
I need to pay.
Alrighty. So, of course, what to expect after the president's speech from yesterday would be that today on the dailies would have plenty of that on it. And so it has been. We're going to start from the Nation newspaper for 1st of August, a Tuesday here. And the first big headline, subsidy paying Tinubu rolls out relief package. President outlines measures to lift economy, Ogwe others hail presidential plan. We talked about the president's speech from before and the fact that it was expected that he would come out to tell exactly why the circumstance that we're going through are so and how in the future it's supposed to actually help. He also noted very fervently the fact that the funds from subsidy which had been removed were actually going to, they were being siphoned into different pockets.
We know that there's quite a lot of fraud.
It was very important to let the people know why that was removed. And I think that more work has to be done to actually let them know maybe different ways and forums, especially people who are in the D and E class. It highlights most of the achievements here on the front page of the Nation newspaper, and a quote by the president himself. This period may be hard on us, and there is no doubt about it that it is tough on us. But I urge you all to look beyond the present's temporary pains and aim at the larger picture. All of our good and helpful plans are in the works. I know that they will work. Let's move on now to other headlines at the top of the Nation newspaper. It is time to deliver. The president tells the service chiefs on security, and Labour insists on protests despite ongoing talks with government. I think it's supposed to start tomorrow.
Yeah.
Do you think that anything will change since
May
after the
probably
president's
be,
speech?
yeah, I expect it should. I expect it should, because from what he said, the discussion is with Labour. So he has been having a discussion with Labour that the minimum wage would change, would go up. So it should. There should be something. I don't think it will go forward, especially when we've heard this. Other things are the highlights of the speech, which we can see there. 75 billion to 75 enterprises. See, the thing is, these things are good. See, we just hope that while it is being shared or whatever, along the way, in the process, people don't divert these funds.
No
That is
racketeering.
see, that is the major wahala. Okay, go further down. 125 billion for MSMEs. You understand? MSMEs, yeah?
MES.
Medium and small scale, enterprise and all that. 75 billion for 100,000 MSMEs. Now, 225,000 metric tons of fertilizer. 200 billion for to be disbursed as follows. There is if it gets to the people as it should, this will be okay.
It looks
That's
very
what the
wholesome.
problem is.
The strategy is wholesome.
Yes, it is. Now it is in the implementation.
Yeah. Perhaps
That is
maybe
what is the
along
problem.
with that, if we also had penalties for people who go against this scheme, and I mean stringent ones that would actually
So it is.
be
It is. Yeah. It is. The
deterrent.
thing is that it's the people that are charged with the implementation that these issues come from.
Yeah.
We've had issues. I mean, during COVID, remember when we had issues of, the particular amount supposed to get to, and then before it gets to you, it's like half of the money.
Yeah.
Because along the way,
It's been
2,
cut.
3 people has been. That is where the wahala is for all of this.
There's a very interesting headline here for The Nation before we move on to your paper. Lagos slashes bus fares by 50%. Poor families to get food packs. That's at least some sort of relief that people should look forward to.
Now you are talking, once you say that thing now, a 50% slash, now we are saying that almost everybody is going to use transport. Transport is needed. If you can get more buses, then you are directly impacting people.
Directly underline that.
So that's...
What paper do you have? I'm sure we're going to meet these.
Okay, yeah, it's the same thing almost everywhere. And, people are talking about, The Guardian says, Tinubu justifies reforms, unveils 500 billion naira package to ease pains. Tinubu presidency road to 100 days, and we can see all of that outlined. Labour FG meet again in attempt to stop tomorrow's protest. And like we had mentioned, I hope that this speech by the president should have some effect, you know, in all of that. Senate jettisons promised. Okay. You know, yesterday we saw some videos of. This always happens with screening.
Oh, yes, there
It
was
always
that
happens.
very interesting,
Remember,
embarrassing
from
video.
years back, there was this particular lady who couldn't sing the national anthem
Yeah.
and all of that. We've seen it. It's embarrassing. But my point, even if you want to lie, you don't go plan your lie ahead.
Are you talking about, the senatorial nominee,
So a lot of them are so embarrassing that I just read only the headlines. I don't bother watching the video because I'm so embarrassed for someone's
for a
father.
fellow, yeah, exactly.
I'm so embarrassed for someone's
And this
son.
was the case of a nominee who
I mean,
had
you
been
hear-
nominated,
so-
who had only 2 credits and still made it into the university. And when he was asked to defend it, it was a rather wishy-washy
It
type
was.
defense.
So, and that is where, look, see, it's not just about the president. Nigeria as a country cannot get to where it is going to go to with just one person. It is about the other people. They are important. So these people are as important, maybe even more, than just the president.
Indeed.
So it was quite embarrassing to watching.
Let's move on now. The Punch newspaper, same story. Subsidy pains. Labour insist on protesters. Tinubu will case 500 billion naira palliative, 3,000 buses. FG plans wage increase, relief for MSMES. Others to resume talks with NLC today. NLC faults FG's reform. Lagos slashes fares as protests rock Oyo and Osun State. At the top of the Punch, Senate screens 14 tackles nominees over age and tax. We saw most of that, especially online. External reserves shed $167 million as Naira slumps even further. And Tinubu decorates service chiefs, generals pledges loyalty, and of course asks them for results. At the bottom, and for sports, gallant Falcons pocket 1 billion naira, reach World Cup last 16. How did that make you feel?
Well, it was happy and sad because we're going to be playing the European champions, England, in the next round, because most likely. And as it stands, man, we are out in that round.
For real?
Don't try yourself, fool.
Wow.
Do you know that England, they are not beings. Like we are out as it stands. If
Right,
you
come
look
on, a
at it-
little bit of
yes.
hope.
So this is the analyst talking. But then when, of course, Nigeria can surprise. You see, I mean, against the odds, things happen against, but the odds are going to be against us. That's just it.
It's
If
all
the
mathematics,
odds,
quite frankly.
you understand?
I get you.
So, but we are happy. They did well. They've qualified. They didn't lose a match.
Any match, yeah.
So Super Falcons,
Super
all
Falcons
of them.
go, Super Falcons go.
Well done.
Let's hope you don't meet your Hayabusa. That's a bike-related quip
okay.
there. The
Maybe
Hayabusa
someday
is
we'll
called
have
the
a
Falcon
bike
Killer.
class or something.
In any case, thank you very much for joining us for the papers. Here's hoping that you pick up one and maybe share with us your opinion. Use the hashtag WakeUpNigeria on TVC. Now, what's happening? We will be letting you know in just a bit. Let's take a very short break and we'll be back to see what's unveiling inside of our kitchen.
Today, nobody's eating anything. Because the chef today is my own person. And of all of us that the host and this, she's my own person, she's my personal person the most. Because, I look how she's cooking. Breakfast and lunch is complete. Hey, Chef Simbi the house. Come on. Let's go there. Chef Simbi, how are you doing? Good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome.
Thank you.
It's great to have you. And, Akmanla, continue the food. Please tell us what else we have here. Because that Akmanla is only me.
Okay.
There's more. If I start, I'll remove everything. Let me just put it back, Jai. Okay, so tell us, what are we doing this morning? First?
Okay, so I'm making vegetable and rice.
Vegetable and
basmati
rice.
Yes.
Is vegetable going to be a sauce?
Yes.
Okay, it's going to be a sauce.
Yes.
Wonderful.
So you know tomatoes is
sauce with white rice.
good now. So
Okay. All right. So tell us, what are the ingredients we're working with?
okay, so we have ugu, we have beef and pomo, we have panla, we have basmati rice,
Wow.
we have our grinded crayfish,
Wow.
seasoning, salt,
Okay.
we have pepper mix, we have shombo.
You see what I love about
Kakashi.
this meat? It's like they measure and cut them. Have you? Can you see? Like it's two by two. You know they say 2 by 2, but the 2 by 2 for me. I look at the pomo. Well washed. It's almost transparent. Healthy pomo. Meanwhile, they say that look, this is leather. All the Louis Vuitton and all of that. Do you have a Louis Vuitton bag or something?
Yeah, I think I have one. Yeah, I
Which
have
designer
one.
bag do you have?
I have one.
You have one.
Yeah.
See, it's a designer bag that isn't to cook food. All right. Okay, so let's see. Let's get started here. Where do we start? And of course, we have panla here.
Yes.
Wonderful. I love. What's the English name for panla? Hake? Is it
Hake fish, yeah.
Hake. I mean, that's what they
Yeah,
call it. Eh?
yeah.
Okay. All right. Shegun, you know, that's my director. Hey, fish, nothing for you today.
First,
All right, so
I
but
need
let's get started here. It's going to be fun in the kitchen this morning because
normally when
okay.
making my basmati rice, because it doesn't really have taste,
okay.
I like to season the water with
Oh,
salt and Maggi. So automatically, yes,
inside white rice.
yes, seasoning, yes, inside white rice.
Ah.
That's my own style.
Okay, sorry about that. You know, there's a brand gets so much to the point whereby you call them a brand and all that, but a seasoning cube. Okay, but because okay, but the white rice will have. So I understand salt. I don't understand sugar. I know some people even use sugar.
For rice.
Yes, they use it for yam. So
That's
some people use it for
yam,
rice.
not rice now.
But I'm thinking that seasoning cube, it will give it so. It will seem like a half
Yes, because
prepared.
the rice is not that sweet.
Okay, as compared to our local
Yes,
rice, yeah, and all the
yes.
rest, yeah. Okay, so what is the special thing about basmati rice?
For me, I like how it comes out one.
Okay,
Like it's
yeah.
just different when you're eating it. Some people don't like it, but I personally, I love it.
This is
This is groundnut oil,
just a normal oil
and palm oil. I'm gonna
I
mix
saw one
them
video.
together.
Okay, I saw one video like this that they were using coconut oil to fry meat for dog. I was like, wow. I'll show you that video. But yeah, let's get
Okay, so
started.
let me
here.
wash
Okay.
this.
Okay, you'd have to watch this. Oh,
Yes.
wonderful, wonderful. Come on, get it up. Let's do it up here. Let's show you that. So, would you parboil? When do you wash after for basmati rice? Would you wash after like you put in water? You know, there's some people what they do is that
Twice,
after
like
they boil,
no, I don't.
You don't.
I just boil it.
So this one doesn't have that what they call
No,
stash
no,
or whatever,
it
like the
doesn't.
normal one, yeah. Okay. All right, so let's watch this. We're just getting started. Stay with us. We'll get to show you quite a lot of the process we're doing. It's Mike and Simbi's vegetable sauce and rice. No other person is going to be part of this one. We'll take a time out and I'll stay with us. We'll be right back.
Time for us to have a conversation, and joining us on Summer of STEM series is Jadesola Adedeji. She is the co-founder of STEMmets. STEMmets is a social enterprise focused on bridging the 21st century skills gap within the Nigerian educational system. Now today, she will be focusing on homemade lava lamp. It's good to have you in the studio with us today.
Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely our pleasure. Now, Jadesola, when children are on the long holiday, and I'm sure many people have been coming across the word STEM. What exactly is STEM? And then METS adding to it again. Tell us about that.
Sure. So STEM is an acronym for science, technology, engineering, and math. And it's a method of learning and teaching which encompasses concepts of science, technology, engineering, and math. It's often a project-based method of learning where you are coming together and bringing those elements to solve a problem. It helps develop creative thinking skills in children, critical thinking, collaboration, etc., and also application of knowledge. It's very practical. It's hands-on. You're feeling, you're doing, you're making, you're breaking. And in that way, you're learning by doing, not just cramming and regurgitating, as I call it.
That's
So it's
true.
not just theory, it's practicalizing the knowledge that you've learned.
Sounds like a great way to engage children, especially over the long holidays. And so it makes me wonder, how can parents actually engage their children regarding STEM? How can they go about that?
Yeah, that's an excellent question. Well, research has it that over the summer, there's actually learning loss that happens when children are out of school.
Yeah.
And also if they're not sufficiently engaged in things that help them think. So for us, we think STEM is the perfect way to learn over the summer. There's simple things that parents can do at home with their children or that the children themselves can do. And it doesn't need to take a lot of space or a lot of money. So there are things you can do around the house, maybe some cardboard things, empty bottles of, water and things like that. They can make and construct things. And the idea is for them to be able to use their imagination to do things.
Now, with the current economic situation, now there's also, we cannot deny the fact that
Yes.
parents are like, okay, you know what, let's ditch summer school this year. We could save the money and add to your tuition in the next term and all. And so these are ways that children can stay engaged at home while they are also, awaiting the next term. Now, could you tell us some of those things that the children could do?
Yeah, there's actually a variety of free things you can do.
Okay.
For example, you know, a reading challenge.
Okay.
So, I mean, some aspect of STEM is also called STEAM, where the arts are in there. So, literacy arts. So, I would even say, you know, let's create a reading challenge.
Okay.
So, there are kids in the house. This is the set number of books that you can challenge them to read, and there's some sort of reward at the end of the summer program. Even things like arts and crafts.
Okay.
You know, you could again do a series of different things and have an exhibition at the end of the summer, so to speak. One interesting one that became prominent over the pandemic is actually virtual field trips. So
Virtual field trips,
exactly. So a lot of these museums abroad or centers, you know, White House, NASA, etc., they have virtual tours that you can do. So I'm sitting here in Lagos and I'm doing a tour of the White House.
Wow.
I haven't bought a ticket to go to DC. You know, I'm sitting here, I'm on NASA website and I'm doing a tour of Mars or the UNESCO site. So there's a lot of free information online that you can engage in. You know, learn an instrument. There's so many things you can do now using technology. There, you know, apps that can help you learn languages, help you learn an instrument, etc. So those are free and those are really widely available. I think it's a matter of knowing where to look.
Now, I like the fact that you mentioned arts and crafts, because I know one of the things you want to show us today is how to make lava lamp.
Yes.
Now, that is something that will definitely not just engage the children, but also keep them captivated. Now, I know you've got some stuff on the table.
Yes.
Let's take a look at this.
So they're quite simple. So here I have water in here.
Okay, how much water is this?
Actually, this is just a quarter of the bottle that we're using.
Okay.
And what we're going to be doing is showing them a simple experiment. We're calling it lava lamp because it's replicating a commercial lava lamp. It's really a decorative object.
Okay.
But it's also trying to explain the science behind it.
Okay.
So we have some water here.
Yeah.
I know oil is a commodity now in Nigeria. So please ask your parents first so we don't get anybody into trouble.
Ensure you have adult supervision.
For
because the last
sure.
thing you want to do is spill oil everywhere.
Yes.
You could get into serious trouble for that.
So definitely adult supervision. So as you can see, this is just highlighting two immiscible liquids. So obviously water and oil don't mix.
Yeah, the oil is still staying on top.
The oil is staying on top because the water is denser. So I'm explaining density here, but without it sounding as if I'm in a classroom. So the oil is sitting there. The water is denser, so it's floated to the bottom.
Okay.
So we have two liquids there. And just for aesthetics value, I'm going to put some food coloring in there just to be able to highlight. So maybe about, I don't know, 5, 6, 7, 8 drops in there. And
that's
as you can
green,
see,
right?
yes, that's green. And you can see the drops are floating down.
Yeah.
So again, that's another display
Heading
of...
straight for the water.
Yeah, exactly. Density there.
Okay.
So we have that in there. And so the exciting thing here is the thing I'm going to do next. So we have some effervescent tablets here. And what it means is that it just, once you drop it in water, it fizzes.
Yeah.
And so the idea there is that when the effervescent tablets hits the water, it starts to bubble up, right? And what's happening
And the coloring is also reacting to that. It's beginning to pick up as well.
So gases are being made.
Yeah.
So again, we're talking chemistry here.
Yeah.
So the chemicals in these tablets are causing the gases to bubble up.
Okay.
And the gases themselves are taking up, you know, the water molecules, floating to the top. And when they float to the top, they release the gas and release the water. And again, like I said, water is denser. It floats back to the bottom.
Okay.
So you can see that just continues and continues. And when they say lava, if you imagine a volcano that is erupting.
And I see the bubbles as well.
Yeah, and you can see.
Excited.
Yeah. So it's really a chemical reaction. Gases are being released. They go up as bubbles. They float up. They come back down. So the more you put the effervescent, again, adult supervision, because these effervescent tablets are actually medicinal products, you know, that's being used. And so we have our homemade lava lamp there.
So it's just going to keep going through this process.
Exactly. So it's just that repetition.
Okay.
And
For
it's
how
really,
long will this last?
This can last anything up to 10 minutes, actually.
10 minutes,
Yeah,
okay.
the
That's
more you put
engaging.
this, it's very engaging. And then you can use different colors. You can use a mixture of colors. So you can see, in a way, I've explained science, but not the textbook.
Yeah.
I've talked about density. I've talked about liquid. I've talked about gases. I've talked about, immiscible liquids.
Okay.
Two liquids that are mixing up with each other.
Okay. So the purpose of the oil is, the oil actually helps with the bubbles as well, because I can see that.
Yes.
And then, of course, the colors, that's the food coloring.
Coloring, yes.
I can see it's dissipating one by one.
Exactly.
It's not doing so at once.
No, it isn't, because what's happening is that the gases that's been released is really kind of capturing, the liquid there and carrying it up. So it's like a transport system, as well. All of that is going on. And then when it gets to the top, the bubbles, it's carbon dioxide that's being produced. The bubbles burst, the water is released, and then it floats back down again.
What if I decide I do not want to use any water? Will I still have this effect?
No, you won't, because
there has to be water.
Effervescent tablets
Only
need
works with
water
water.
to dissolve.
Okay.
Yes, not in the oil.
So what the oil does is to aid with the bubbles as well.
Right, in terms of transporting up. And also highlighting that it's a dense liquid. You would imagine that because its oil is thicker, it will be denser than water.
Now, children can be very mischievous. Now, I just want to ask, if this gets into the mouth, it's safe, right?
No, I wouldn't say so.
Because there's food coloring.
Well, there's
oil,
food coloring
water.
there. This is what I'm concerned about
Yes,
the
they'll
most.
just end up in the toilets more often. But
Yeah, so please, adult supervision.
always, whenever you're doing any form of practicals like this, please,
Yes.
adult supervision. It cannot be overemphasized.
Exactly.
Okay, so can we put another one there?
Sure.
Yes.
So we
it
can
keeps
just
bubbling.
Yes, we can just keep adding that. And honestly, even this, after this, I can keep this, and if I'm bored, I can just add.
Keep putting it. So
Yeah.
it can last for as long
Yeah,
as you want if you
exactly.
just keep including that.
Exactly. So
Okay.
this system is, and it's simple.
Yeah, very easy ways to engage your children. Let their minds think, especially those who have interest in science.
Exactly.
So they're like, okay, how can this work? Okay, let me try something else. And who knows what ideas they might come up with in future.
Yeah, and they can have a variation of it. You can say to
Yeah.
them, okay, we've used oil this time. What if we use something else? Will
Yeah.
it be the same effect? And even some of the questions that you've asked, what are those bubbles? What are those?
Yeah.
So these are opportunities for them to also ask the question and also have the understanding behind what they're seeing.
So for parents who have been captivated by this and I think, okay, my son said he was bored yesterday. This is something to engage him. How can we find more ways to engage the children during this holiday?
Like I mentioned, I think it's really, and I know parents are at
I'm
work.
talking about practical.
Practicals. Parents are at work. I think it's really research. There's a lot of information out there. And even, ChatGPT is your friend. So if you put it in there that, give me 5 simple science experiments I can do at home that is safe. I can use home ingredients or things around the house. It will give you that.
It will give you options. So
Yes.
this is one of them. So
This
you
is
might
one of
want to
them.
try this one. And then, of course, with time, you explore other possibilities. This one can keep your children engaged for at least 3 days before they get bored again and like, yeah, we've seen this, what next? Okay, so yes, it's fantastic. I'll just be ready to spend a fortune on the effervescent tablets. Good luck to you on that one. Thank you so much indeed for your time. It's been an interesting conversation. Jadisola Adedeji, really interesting. And thank you as well for always watching Wake Up Nigeria. We're about to take a break because it's the top of the hour. We'll be back in a bit. Just stay with us.
Well, they decided to start the second lap with me. That's interesting. Well, Miriam, as you know, both of you, sit down. Sit down, because I'm not coming to you. We end here. Simbi, let's go. It's our turn. It's our time to shine. Emilokon. All right, let's go. Let's put, where are we going? We already have our
Yes.
mala inside,
Yes,
yeah? We put inside oil.
I fried it a bit because I wanted the flavor.
Okay. Mazino and Mary, sit down. Oh, so this is our tomatoes and pepper mix, yeah?
It doesn't have tomatoes.
There's no tomato?
Nope.
Why?
Because I don't want it.
This one? Is it
want
because it's expensive? But they
So,
said it's because of it's not tomato
by the
season
time
that
you
tomatoes will
taste-
come down. That's what they said. But okay, so
Sha,
what
but
makes
by the time
this?
you taste this,
Okay.
you forget about stew. Trust me.
Come on, it. Come on, it.
Forget about stew.
That's good. I like it. I like that. All right. So this is already boiling
Yes,
there,
it
yeah.
is.
And then of course okay, that's cool. And then we have this already. You made mention that you fried dipala because you want a particular kind of flavor.
Flavor, yeah.
All right, that's wonderful.
So
All
I'm
right.
going
How
to
long?
leave-
How long will this simmer
Let me leave it for the next 5 minutes.
for? Okay.
Cook a bit.
To cook up on its own, eh?
Yes.
All right. Do you put seasoning cubes
Yes,
cubes
I will.
now?
I will.
Okay.
So
All
they
right.
all cook together.
They all cook together. Oh, wonderful. And then this is well grounded.
Yes, so this is not the small crayfish. This is the big crayfish. For me, it's all about flavor.
Okay.
There's different flavors that come with these things.
Oh, it's well blended and grounded, yeah?
it is. So
Okay.
I'll cover this a bit and we'll wait for a few minutes.
All right. All right. Okay. So at the end of the day, I'll be expecting as you know, Mary's paycheck because they are not working today. I'm just the one. You can imagine I'm doing the one. I'm opening the show for them, doing their work, and they are sitting there standing up. I don't know. They don't have any work to do.
You remember
Let's
that
just
thing
continue.
they say, monkey they work, baboon they chop. So you
Okay,
can do all the
you
work.
don't go chop this food. You go know something. You don't go chop this
Mike
food
looks
today.
like a clueless
Oh,
man.
yeah,
in the kitchen.
you go see something today.
Listen, Mike, don't worry, man. Calm down. There's enough to go around. It's gonna be
not that
fun.
much. The pala is small.
In any case,
Well, it's
welcome.
so good. Yeah, it's so good to know what's happening in the kitchen.
Yes.
We cannot wait for breakfast to be ready.
Absolutely.
Yes,
The
so,
smell in here is beautiful too.
Well,
Love
we
it.
should tell you what to expect this hour, in case you're wondering. Okay, Mike has taken over. No, he hasn't. He's just trying to be. He's trying to feel himself. Yes. My name is Mary Basha Ali.
My name is Bazino Appeal. For the second hour, we have a musical performance coming your way. We have Chidi Collins. He's a gospel music minister whose journey began with a profound love for music since he was a child. He'll be performing his latest single, Ancient of Days. Our last guest for today, Kadeem Faiza, popularly known as Two Tap, born and raised in the UK, he's an accomplished and respected artist known for his exceptional creativity and unique artistic style. Now, through his career, Two Tap has created numerous worthy pieces like Section 46 and Back in Blood. Well, we can't wait to meet him here on our couch. Stay tuned for that one. Welcome back. Welcome back from the kitchen, Mike.
Oh, yeah. So, Simbi, we're making it happen. We still have to go there one more time. We'll get to see
Yesterday,
what we're doing.
I tried something out. I saw this clip on social media of this guy who bought a full tank.
Okay.
And then they called out the whole what's it called, Dorime team for him, the Dorime girls, the guys on power bikes, and the hype man, one fuel injector for the manager, one fuel injector. It was very interesting. So I bought a full tank yesterday. And when the guy finished pumping it, I was like, Oga, where is
That's
your
my
Dorime?
Please tell me his reaction.
No, he just laughed because apparently he had seen it as well.
Okay.
We joked about it. But it's very interesting. One other clip had it that now for fueling station with it, still no big man now.
You don't even know the one that is frightening me. When your car has a fault and you are giving your mechanic a full tank car.
And then they bring back half
And
tank.
then they bring back quarter
no.
half care.
We'll
Those guys.
We'll suck it out.
You suck it up.
I
We'll
had
suck it out.
a small instance with a generator repairer who, after fixing the gen, had a liter and a half container in his little bag that he had taken of my fuel. But you know what I did? I let him have it. I didn't. I didn't even tell him that I saw it. I just let him have it because, I mean, there's plenty going on. And if you can let it go, let it go.
Yeah,
if
but you know, the issue with that though is you're encouraging theft.
Well,
He probably didn't know you saw it. The least you could have done was to say, Oga, wait a minute. Okay, take it.
I
It's
don't like
different. You say, okay, take it.
confrontations.
No,
In that,
look,
yeah,
it's from little things, big things happen.
Maybe.
Sometimes you need to let them know, even when you are overlooking. You know in your mind that I'm not going to make a big deal
Yeah,
of it.
I
I'm
think
giving
I
the-
You know what I told my
But
wife?
you need to let them know you know, because
This is-
next time it's going to be something valuable in
It's gonna
your-
keep getting bigger
and
and
it's going to
bigger.
get
And then
bigger.
it could be some.
So what I told my wife is that
Yeah,
I said to my wife
could
that,
get into trouble.
don't worry, the next time he comes, I'll joke about it.
Yeah.
Your wife said the same thing to you that you should
Yeah,
have let him know.
exactly. I said I'll
Exactly.
joke. I don't want to, because there's one thing
Yeah.
about artisans and people who give you these kinds of handyman services. If you find a good one, build a relationship.
Yes,
Because to
you can
find
cut them some
another one,
slack
yeah, cut them
sometimes,
some
yeah.
slack. So
But
the next
let
time he
them know
comes,
you're cutting
I'll
them
gonna carry my fuel today. Oh.
Exactly.
I see that last time. Oh. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, something like that.
Just be
You didn't let it
congenial.
pass because that's encouraging theft, really. It is.
I
Yeah.
understand. It's the news once again on Wake Up Nigeria. My name is Mike Messikeno. Members of the Nigerian Labour Congress are still set for the nationwide strike, scheduled for Wednesday, the 2nd of August. Members of the civil society groups are also among the people mobilized for the protest on Wednesday. Senior correspondent Sharon Ejasan reports.
On Tuesday, 25th July 2023, workers' representatives met at the Labour House in Abuja. The National Executive Council meeting was essential to discuss state of the nation. Hours later, a resolution was made which included a nationwide protest. In Lagos, the Lagos State Council of the Nigerian Labour Congress (NLC) and civil society groups at a press briefing say they are ready for the planned nationwide protest scheduled for August 2nd, 2023.
To proceed on a nationwide protest rally, which will commence on August 2nd, bearing any last-minute changes, we are still committed to our national body's instruction and agreement. It's a joint effort, and in Lagos State, our own will not be a difference.
The Deputy Secretary General of NLC, Ismail Bello, declares that Labour is ready for further dialogue, as previous meetings did not record any progress. During the meeting, the Labour Centre reiterated the stand of workers, which is the removal of anti-people policies.
In this place, the union is ready. Labour is ready. Government doesn't seem to be ready for dialogue. To dialogue means there's willingness to respect the content of the agreement that you have reached with the other party. We had an agreement on a complement of issues the last time we met at the villa. To the extent that government will provide mass transportation that is powered by CNG, which is a more cost-effective alternative.
Who are those people doing bunkering? Is it not the same ruling elite? Who are those people engaging in theft? Is this not the same ruling elite? They should not push all too extreme. And that is one reason on Wednesday, all of us must gather. We must move forward and tell government of the day that this country belongs to all of us.
Workers are requesting for a holistic social protection policy plan to ensure that there is social stability in the country. Sharon Ejasan, TVC News, Lagos.
That's it on the news for today. We'll take a time out now. I will be back in the kitchen once we're back. Okay, well, while Winfrey is planning for the pageant, she'll talk about it more tomorrow on the show, so watch out for that one. I'm here. Oh, Chef Simbida, I love the way that thing comes out. Wonderful. So we've put our meats inside here.
Yes, so everything is cooked well.
All right. If you are just joining, you've missed quite a lot, but hey, come on, it's never too late. I'm here with Chef Simbi, and we are cooking white rice and vegetable sauce. Right? And these are the ingredients you can see on the screen there. Basmati rice, smoked H fish, a.k.a. panla, a.k.a. ejakika, red bell pepper, scotch bonnet, palm oil, there's beef, there's vegetable oil, there's crayfish, there's cow skin, pumpkin leaves, onions, seasoning cubes, and salt. Okay, so what is going in now?
So, I'll put the mama.
Yeah, that's our Louis Vuitton going inside. This is the last thing remaining. Yes. I know it goes in quite very late, so it's not going in now.
No, it's not.
Okay, it's not going in now, but this is what we have here so far. Every other thing has gone. Our rice is boiling quite well.
It's almost ready.
It's almost ready. Our rice with our seasoning cube and salt. First time I'm seeing that, so I'm looking forward to how that one sounds. So this will go in finally at the end of everything, and then we'll get to show you what the final process or what the final food looks like. All right?
Yeah.
Wonderful, and we're done. Well done. All right, we'll take a time out now. Stay with us. When we get back, there's still quite a lot more to come on the show.
Contempt of court.
The nominal complainant is in court, and the accused person is in the dock.
Okay, that's quite dramatic. Well, our guest today is the producer of this movie you just saw, the trailer you just saw, Elimie Osezua. Now, he has made blockbuster movies like Unforgivable, which you just seen, Damage, just to mention a few. Of course, he has been there, but this is the first time he's doing something this big. It's great to have you. Welcome.
Thank you very much, my
Let's talk about your producing in Nigeria or in Nollywood, as it were, is not something that is easy to come by, you know.
Yeah.
How and why did you get into movie production?
Well, first off, it's a disease. It's an incurable disease.
Okay.
I had that disease from way, way back. The days we watched American movies on our TV screens. We thought that they were real.
Okay,
we started carrying ourselves as saying, when I grow up, I'll be a CIA agent, fight the bad guys. Then you grew up, you realize that, okay, these things are actually, they are not real. They are
scripted and acted.
And I said, oh, I want to do that too. So, and then the word director came.
Okay.
You know, that idea of directing, making the story work came in, and I said, this is what I'm going to do.
Okay.
But of course, in Nigeria at that time, as we were growing up, there were no film schools that we knew about.
Okay.
Okay, what you had basically were theater arts and, of course, the humanities. I opted, although my dad wanted me to be a lawyer, my mom wanted me to be a doctor because she felt I was sympathetic or empathetic, but I couldn't stand the sight of blood. You know, blood, all those things, so it wasn't mine. Then I got admission to UNN to read law, but somehow I switched over to English and literature, University of Benin, because I felt this was what I wanted.
Want to do.
So I went in for it. And of course, studying English and literature, getting the best written works on earth. That's what it's basically all about. It's not just English, but English and literature combined honor.
Okay.
So, and then of course, I also did European literature in translation. So you had the best authors like Dostoevsky and the rest of them translated into English, and you were reading them.
Okay.
And they were just the best ways. And you did literary criticisms and all of that. And then, of course, I became very, very interested in drama.
And of course, there was also our local content also.
Yeah, our local content was just building. And
was at that time?
Yeah, I remember when I was in year 3, after I realized that, okay, this is what I would do with it. There's a way it can help me, because I realized that this Lagos is the place. And I was always coming to Lagos. Once it was Thursday, I'll come to Lagos to look for the then Chico Ejiro and the rest of them, giving them scripts, asking, I want to do this. Let's see what it was all about. Then one day I got to school, my HOD sent for me, the late Professor Steve Ogude, and said, every morning you come to school, you see me. Because he heard what I was doing. He said, you have a long stretch ahead of you to do whatever you want to do. Finish school, and then you can face it.
And then you can face it. Oh,
and now imagine the long stretch I have got from leaving school. And then I didn't go straight to Nollywood. I went to broadcasting.
Okay.
I went to TV, worked at TV. I don't know if I can mention names of that.
No worry, you just worked at TV.
Yes, I worked at TV and then moved to production. Worked at a production house, then went into advertising.
Oh.
Became head of...
You're down there everywhere.
Yes, head of production and creative services.
Okay.
And then, of course, that exposed me to the business
side of
production, of filmmaking, and then, of course, also exposed me to international production houses and directors.
Okay.
Okay? And then that was it. Traveling was part of the job, meeting foreign producers, foreign directors, foreign crew, all of that. It was just a potpourri.
All right. Now, you have Unforgivable out, and we saw that trailer, quite dramatic, I must say. Tell us about that movie. Why did you decide to do that movie, and what is it about, the synopsis?
Okay. Unforgivable is the story of a well-raised child, or let's put it this way, the story of a young man that is born with a silver or golden spoon. He's welding. And then he has woman problem. Okay, his attitude to women is about consumption, not about any other thing. Then he comes across a lady that he feels connected to. He wants to help. He is in love with her, but he doesn't know that she is a stripper. All right? And then along the line, he is accused of raping her.
Oh.
So he gets a call from her to say, come, I have a problem, come help me. He's always helping her. And he gets there, he's picked up by the police and
It's
is
a case
accused
of
of rape.
false accusation.
I wouldn't know
You
that.
wouldn't know.
Really,
Okay,
honestly.
because you already tell us the movie.
Yes.
I'm already, what happens next? Because already never tell us. So they'll have to go and find out.
So he gets to the place, instead of the policemen to come prepared as policemen, they arrive just as you are.
Okay.
And harassed him. He had to beat them up.
Just like me?
Yeah, no uniform.
Did they wear this kind of something? Well, wonderful, yeah. So when is it released? When can people
He
go check it?
released just on the 28th,
Okay,
last,
it's available.
last Friday. This
Now-
is his 5th day.
Okay, and you having this now, and considering the experience you have working with international producers and all of that, I just want to round up with this question. As an industry in Nollywood, how do you think we can get to the point where we scale up? Hollywood is quite far ahead when you look at other aspects, like you see how well our music is doing globally. It's not like our films are not doing well, but we know that there's still some ways to go. How can we, as an industry, you being a practitioner and quite a very important part of our industry, how do you think Nollywood can scale up and get to that level that we think we should be? Or where
It's just mental attitude on two sides. Mental attitude, the right mental attitude from the content creators, we, the producers and the directors, and then investors, the investing public. I don't think they have seen Nollywood as worth their money. But the thing is, I tell people, if you do a good film, you won't lose. You may not make the money immediately.
Okay.
The markets are expansive. It's
Very
like
true.
a farmer.
Very true.
You plant, you watch it grow. But people who are interested in money,
Instant
now, they will not be welcomed
They'll
in
not be
Nollywood.
welcome and all of that.
It's possible you can get the money now.
All right.
You have seen movies that went to cinema and cleared the box office, okay?
Yeah.
Now, there are others which we build gradually. All right? There are different types. Depends on the money you put initially at
education.
Then we, the content creators, have to be very, very far out of the box. We should shatter the box in our thinking.
I like that.
You know,
I like that.
That idea of safe approach
Being safe
to,
yeah, wonderful. I like
we need
that.
to shatter it.
All right, so this is us here wishing you the best. And, you know,
Thank you.
I know that you have plans to go international, make all the best movies and be at the best film festivals and all of that. See you at the top. Well done.
Thank you.
Well
Thank
done.
you. Thank
well
you.
done.
I appreciate it.
All right, thank you. All right, that's it. We'll take a time out now. Stay with us. We'll be back with our final guest.
And you're welcome. It's time for our final guest today. Kadeem Faizar, popularly known as Two Tap, is in the studio here with us. Born and raised in the UK, he's an accomplished and also respected artist known for his exceptional creativity and unique artistic style. Through his career, Two Tap has created numerous worthy pieces, and today he's here. He'll be telling us about everything that he's been doing. Welcome. You're from the UK. How long have you been in Nigeria for since?
I've been in Nigeria for like 7 days now.
7 days?
Yeah.
Now, may I ask what exactly you're doing in Nigeria?
You know, I'm trying to grow my Nigerian fan base. That's what I'm trying to do.
Oh, so you have a Nigerian fan base already?
No, I'm trying
This
to
is great.
build one as well, yeah.
So your music, how have Nigerians reacted to it since?
I've been getting a lot of good feedback from the Nigerian fan base, and I'm loving it. I can't lie, I appreciate it. So I just hopefully that can grow more, you know.
Oh, that's good. Now, on that, I wanted to ask, now back in the UK, what do people see the Nigerian music industry as? When they think African music, does Nigeria come up tops? Are they vibing to it? If I go into a club, would I hear more Nigerian music than anything else?
You're going to hear a lot of Nigerian music abroad, trust me, especially where I'm from in the UK. You're going to hear a lot of...
Where is that?
In the UK? South London.
South London, okay.
That's where I'm from. If you hear a lot of Afro beats, preferably Nigerian music, yeah.
So would you say we're competing favorably with other kinds of music? And if you were to put a percentage to it, what would that percentage be?
Definitely. I would definitely say the Afrobeat scene in general is definitely at the top. Yeah.
At the top, right?
Yeah, it's definitely scratching top.
So if I was from a different culture, say Asian or Korean, would it be right to say that they're trying to form their music like Afrobeat, like trying to capture that essence, that community, that audience?
I'd say
that happen?
There's some inspiration from Afrobeats in them, like what they're trying to do. I would definitely say that they definitely grab some inspiration from the Afro scene, definitely.
Okay, so let's talk about your music now from before. Your music is, well, tuned to who exactly now?
Well, my music is tuned to preferably everybody. You get me? There's no, there's not nobody that can't not listen to my music. You know what I'm saying? Yeah,
Nice.
it's everybody, literally.
Oh, that's fantastic. If you're in Nigeria, are you looking at doing something with any of our Nigerian lot?
Yeah, of course.
Who is it? Let's know.
I'm willing to do with up and coming artists, of course, big artists as well. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, God willing. So yeah, got a couple of artists in mind.
Nice.
A couple.
Nice. If you were to go with, now this is it's a conversation, and I'm going to put you on the spot here. If you had Davido and Wizkid, who are two of the biggest exports from Nigeria currently, in fact, it's so funny now because we have to start importing them back into Nigeria because that's how big they are globally. Which one would you go for first off? Be careful now. Which one would you go for first off as your first choice for a collabo? Oh, well, hang on a second. I've just been warned that I must add one more person to that. Davido, Wizkid, and Burna Boy.
Ooh.
It's a tough one, isn't it?
Yeah.
But who would it be?
I have to choose one.
You have to just choose one. You have to really think about it, and maybe even explain why. Who would it be?
You know, it is. Every single one of them make good music.
Yes,
Yeah.
I hear you being diplomatic,
Every
but
single one of
you
them.
have to tell. One.
I think the best person that will go best with my sound specifically right now at this time being would be Burna Boy, if we're saying
Nice.
collabs, yeah? But I'd love to work with Davido, Wizkid, or Burna Boy, any one of them, you know what I'm saying, really.
I get you. I see what you did there, but that's great. I don't blame you. I don't blame you. Recently, I mean, he's been the most talked about. Whether you like it or not, there's a certain kind of, I don't know what that essence is about him that people, especially outside, especially in the UK, really vibe to. So it's all right if you want to go with Burna Boy. Let's talk about your project coming. What are we looking forward to? A single or an album?
For now, I've got a single that's just released, so you can be looking forward to that. It's called Section 46. So all platforms. So definitely.
You have a video for that already?
Yeah, I got.
Where was it shot?
It was shot in the UK.
The UK.
Yeah,
While you're
UK
here.
and Barcelona.
Oh, Barcelona.
Yeah.
Barcelona. Like it. While you're here, however, are you thinking of using our essence, like the visuals from Nigeria for a music video?
I got a studio session after this. Hopefully, God willingly, I should be shooting a video as well in Nigeria as well. Hopefully.
Have you been around? Have you seen the different places?
Yeah.
Does any place catch your fancy that you'd like? Are you going for the highbrow, good-looking places or the grit of Lagos?
You know, it is. I come from the grit, so I love the grit. It's always good to have high class, but I can't.
Very different kind of grit around.
Yeah, but you know, it is. Grit is the same everywhere. It's just a bit more different in living circumstances. You get me? But grit is grit.
Well, hey, I'm sure you're going to actually find very beautiful visuals, no matter how gritty
100%.
it is. These are visuals that people actually relate to as Nigerians. So I'm sure that if you're putting that in your purview, that's going to be a fantastic strategy, if you ask me.
1 million.
So do try the food.
1 million.
I mean, you shouldn't be a stranger to Nigerian food, are you?
Stranger. I know all of it most. Amala, pounded yam.
It's amala. There's a bit of
amala.
Add that to your next lyric, man. There you go. That was perfect. That was fantastic. So the single's up. It's already out. You've got the video for that one. But is it going to be part of an album or anything?
Yeah, it'll be part of an album still.
Okay, and on this album, are we looking to see perhaps maybe any of these names or Nigerian artists, even if it's not Burna Boy, Wizkid, or Davido?
Definitely, you'll see definitely some up-and-coming artists, let's say. So hopefully some known artists as well. Yeah, definitely got some big things coming, 100%.
Okay, well, Grant, I'm looking forward to seeing some of your work. Perhaps maybe we're going to show 1 or 2 clips from some of your videos, maybe from Section 46, if I'm not mistaken.
No problem.
And then when we get back, we're going to actually have you inside of the kitchen to taste some of that good food that we talked about here, because we have a fantastic chef. Chef Simbi's been hard at work inside of the kitchen. He's got something, you can already smell it.
I can smell it, trust me, I can smell it.
So, hey, wait till you taste it.
No problem.
Stick around. And do stick around as well. Let's take a few clips, and we'll be back inside of the kitchen.
Chill sober, I can get violent. Branch the fools, now cops they're dialing. I don't get why you gotta move tough when I go through life, just chilled and vibrant.
Some of the visuals there, man. To tap in the studio.
Before Mike gets on with the food and everything, there's something I find really fascinating about this food, and that's this.
I actually do.
The
like
crescent.
Why?
The oil
Because,
crescent.
yes, I'm actually beginning to feel like we are not maximizing our vegetables enough. In this economic crunch, when you cook a pot of soup, please add extra water.
Oh, come on, Mary.
I'm not joking, no. This thing I'm saying is very serious. I feel like we are not. These things can be really tasty. There
Indeed,
are people that
you are right.
use just this part to eat swallow.
You know what? We're going to leave that taste test to our guest here to tap in the studio here. You are welcome. That Nigerian food we talked about, this is it. And this is the beautiful chef who's responsible. Chef Simbi, what are we having here today?
So we're having vegetable sauce. It's actually ugu vegetable sauce with basmati rice.
Nice. You want to give it a try?
Yes.
Udu.
Cow skin,
Yeah.
loads of
Tell us what you
interesting
think
stuff.
about it. It's beautiful. It's just very, in fact, I want a piece of this myself. I see some pomo in there. Mike, was that pomo?
Which pomo?
Is that not pomo I see there?
It's Louis Vuitton. I mean, see,
Give it a try, man.
Yankee, that's
Designer vegetable.
What's it taste like? Like, yeah? We've got more.
Good.
Nice. You know what pomo is?
Pomo.
Pomo, yes. Pomo is those little, it's the little...
You know what pomo is now.
Did you-
It's the.
It's
what?
not the
Cow
fish.
skin.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's Louis Vuitton.
If you don't know pomo,
Cow skin, yeah.
no, because
Nice, man. Simbi, you done it again. Thank you very much. Yay.
always enjoy your cooking. I'm
Always.
looking forward to this.
Thank
We're
you.
looking forward to digging into it.
Well done. Well done. It's been a wonderful show. Thank you very much, Waldo. And then for you, Alima and Shegun, two of you, my director, my producer from Middle London. Where are you guys?
It's like this guy's mic is going to be cut off very soon.
Listen, Halima, Shegs, please just give him 500 naira each trip, any trip. He'll be okay, he'll be fine.
That's even more than you will pay normally, so you're putting his life. Enjoy your day.
It's been a fantastic show, everybody. Thank you very much. See you guys tomorrow for a Wednesday edition. Bye-bye.
Yes.